Hello, this is an unboxing, so it'll go on for an hour. It's a game I saw recommended to me, or was it recommended? I think I saw it on the. It wasn't recommended to me specifically. I just saw it on the Steam page, and I've gotten a bit of a money recently and decided to treat myself. I also got Final Fantasy Tactics, but this has good reviews. I haven't read any of them. It's in a fictionalized version of Eastern Europe in a fictional kingdom. We are going to turn down volume. Mostly the music volume so I can hear myself. Okay. So, this is apparently a tale of intrigue and in the 1700s when on the cusp of magic and superstition, the borderline. It's by a group called Psychic Software, apparently. Anyway, let's see what this is like. So choose this if you want to enjoy narrative adventure but want to skip the turn-based combat. Choose this if you want to enjoy narrative and 5 skill points per chapter, 6 skill points per chapter, high prices, 4 skill points per chapter, and want an extra challenging combat. So we're going to do balanced. This would not be one I do easy because it just if it would just skip the
In the
combat.
year of our Lord, 1701, the Republic of Venice went to war with the sovereign monarchy of Ralston.
That must be the...
This war was over passage rights through the Adriatic Sea, though this point will rarely be brought up when the war is discussed by future historians.
Probably because Rolston is the fictional.
It was, like most wars, overstretched and too costly. Neither side could afford it, nor would they back down. Many lives were lost, and whatever the outcome, each nation would nurse its wounds for some time.
Yeah, neither side could afford it. Unfortunately, certain individuals make a living off war nowadays.
The war raged on for 6 years, draining both countries' resources, but the Republic of Venice was older than Ralston and had deeper pockets. In a war of attrition, they would win, and both sides knew it.
I'm going to risk this. You could skip the interactive prologue if you wish. I'm just click X so that goes away.
3 generals from Ralston, 2 brothers and a close friend, came together to strategize, and came up with nothing. They would not win this war. In desperation, one reached out to a dark power and was told to make pilgrimage to Golgotha. With no other avenue, they spent 1 month sailing to the walls of Jerusalem, where they docked under cover of darkness. On the hill where the man named Jesus died, they met a figure, too old to identify as man or woman. It offered them a book, an already ancient thing made of pale leathers and filled with symbols that hurt their eyes to look upon. The thing smiled as they took it, a smile made of too many teeth, full of dread for what they had seen and what they were about to do. They sailed for another month to get home. Things had gone badly in the time they were away. Soon they would have to surrender, and Ralston would fall into decline, one it was unlikely to survive. Whatever doubt the men had about using the knowledge in that book, their mind was set now. They cast its pages open and chanted dark incantations. And lo, did the dead walk upon the earth that night. Undead sailors hauled themselves into the Venetian boats. Soldiers dragged themselves from battlefields and clawed up from shallow graves to drive the Venetians from the land. The war was won. The Venetians could not fight Ralston's impossible numbers. They surrendered, the book was shut, and the dead were dead once more. The book was destroyed, but the world had noticed. Ralston had dark magic, and no shame in using it. Many enemies, without and within, were born that day. 1711. 3 years later, a child was born to one of the generals involved in unleashing the spell.
Huh. Okay, so we get to choose our gender here. This is our character creation. Baby girl.
A beautiful baby girl.
Oh. Let me pause for a moment here and hope... Oh, no. Oh, no! Okay, I guess Let's see. I guess I'm Mandel. Okay, cool. The night you were born, a blood moon hung low. Night there was a storm the night you were born. I went to go click on the name generator, but it... Oh, well. Well, at least it's just an unboxing. The ship was caught in it, doomed to be dragged to the ocean floor. One that came from no comet passed overhead that night. One that cycled between purple. I'm going to go with the comet.
A comet passed overhead that night. One that cycled between purple and green. Few saw it, but those that did walked away from their lives to explore more of the world before them. You were taken from your mother and left with a nursemaid for your first few days in this world.
Kindly girl from the town's poor quarters. While your paths crossed every few years, she was never reintroduced. She has never seen you, always cheers her up, and she is content with that. Distant cousin who hated being tasked with minding you, she largely ignored you. When the job was done, she told everyone what a fine job she did and how you both had an unbreakable bond. You have not spoken since. Heavyset lady who helped raise many children in town. She was lauded for understanding children and how their minds behave, though nobody turned up at her funeral when she died of heart failure. Oh, that's sad. Kindly girl, distant cousin, heavyset lady. Taken from mother and raised by someone else. Is I think what it was, yeah? I'm gonna go with this.
A heavy-set lady who helped raise many children in the town. She was lauded for her understanding of children and how their minds behaved, though nobody turned up at her funeral when she died of heart failure.
That's sad.
You were born into wealth and status, and had all you could wish for. But your parents never had another child, and your father was often preoccupied with his work. Your mother, distant, sickly and delirious, you heard another mother say. Hoffman, the family steward, raised you more than they.
I'm going to click out again so I have my timer in view. There we go.
It was a lonely childhood. 1718. You are 8 years old. You play with friends from school, 2 poorer boys, Diedrich and Flip. Your father disapproves. You play in the graveyard outside the city. Nobody goes there without an armed guard. But children do not care for such things. Children are small and fast and can outrun ghoul, at least when the sun is up.
I'm going to note again, this takes place in the area of Venice, so around Italy and on the edges of around the Adriatic Sea, so Eastern Europe. Not too far east, but Eastern Europe. And the narrator's voice is some kind of British or a British adjacent accent.
One day, as you play, you hear a rustling coming from some trees. You all freeze. Then a stone whizzes out of the green and hits you on the head. You stare in disbelief, a slow trickle of blood running down your face, partially blocking sight from your left eye.
Oh, who is this? 10 years your seniors step out. girl from school recognized the group of children from the city. So, mean girl, older cousin, or bundle of brats, bullies.
A group of other children from the city emerge from the tree
skill
line.
point for that.
You recognize their leader, a boy named Willard. "You shouldn't be here," he calls out. "It's against the rules." He punches the palm of his hand. "This is for your own good."
Oh, I could do this. That seems... I don't really like that idea. Don't like... Okay, you don't tell me what to do.
You pick up a stick and stand your ground. "You don't tell me what to do!" There were more of them, and they swarmed you. But you broke Willard's nose in the midst of it all, which you felt satisfied with.
Gain trust military...
You weren't sure if it was the broken nose or that they got whatever anger they had towards you out of their system, but they left you alone after that. That night, you wake suddenly to find an old woman sitting at the end of your bed, whispering to herself.
Oh dear.
"Where is my beautiful boy?" She looks around the room. "I'm coming to you, to find you." Then she looks at you. Where her eyes should be are dark holes, not fleshy wounds, but an absence of anything. An endless blackness that hurts to look at. She looks at you. "Are you him? Are you my baby?" She begins to crawl up the bed towards you. "Come to me, baby. Come, let me hold you in my arms." As you hide under the sheets, you feel pressure on the bed as she approaches. "My baby, my sweet babe." Her hands, cold and bony, wrap around your own as they hold the sheet tight to your face. They gently but easily pull your hands from your face, removing your thin cotton defences. "Wake up, baby." Your mother's voice. You slowly open your eyes and see her standing there, smiling down at you. You were having a dream. I could hear you from my room. "Come here." You dive forward and she wraps her arms around you, warm and fleshy and alive.
Sounds like she likes you, but if I remember
That
correctly...
night, you sleep in her bed for the last time.
If I remember correctly from earlier in the story, and I wasn't paying best attention, but I think the mother in this has emotional/mental issues that make it hard for her to function.
1721. One morning, your mother comes to your school. She takes you out, even though classes are not finished. She says everything is okay, but you do not believe her.
Her presence alone is the warning. Her appearance gives her away. Her mannerisms tip you off. So this is going to be a skill point for how we notice. Let's go with her presence.
Her presence alone is the warning.
Okay, so let's see here. Logical thinking, ability to piece together clues to draw. Knowledge isn't great, investigate isn't great, but we're good at analyzing, we're good at acuity.
Your mother never comes to your school. When you were too young to go alone, Hoffman brought you. Now you travel alone. She has never come here. She brings you around the town. First you stop to buy sugared apples. Then she takes you shopping. New clothes, new books, new toys, a luggage trunk. She brings you to the castle, and, with some whispered words and coins exchanged, the guard lets you into the grounds. You go to the pond and throw bread, and watch fish pop their heads up to steal from the ducks.
Don't feed bread to ducks. It's not
You
good for
walk
them.
the city walls, and the two of you take in the view. The sea to the west, The hills to the south, the forest to the east and north, and beyond the northern tree line, the road that leads to the capital. That, she tells you through teary eyes, is where you're going. You won't understand until you're older. Maybe not even then. You need more than I can give you, more than I can be. You protest. She cries. When she stops crying, she doesn't remember where you are, how you got there. A watchman brings you home. There your father glares at you, angry that you upset your mother, angry at your non-compliance. Hoffman brings you to your room to help you put your new clothes and books and toys into your new trunk. He tells you that she loves you, that this is for the best.
She's been some sort of decline.
A few days later, your carriage rides out of town. In your children's stories, events like this happen on rainy days, but today is sunny and clear-skied. As the carriage crests a hill, you can look back towards the city and see it all. The farms, the walls, the groves, the castle, the seas. You're home. How do you feel as you are taken away?
Well, that was particularly loud. Unwanted, tossed aside. This is something I could not find. Deep wounded, or supposed to not describe me. I wonder, will I ever understand? Oh, I'm gonna do this.
I don't understand what I did wrong for them to send me away like this.
All the mental stuff just...
I wonder, will I ever understand? 1722. A year has passed. More quickly than you might have expected. Winter's first snow falls lightly outside. You watch from your dorm and reflect on your time here.
You started many fights, you ended many too. Thankful for library books have been your salvation. You took to this life quickly, making many friends. Energy toward physical activities, joined the running team, killed the time by dreaming up schemes and enacting them. You have befriended some of the more unsavory children. Let's go with many friends. I mean, library is appealing, but let's go with...
You took to this new life quickly, making many friends. This place is filled with the unwanted children of powerful families.
Oh my.
These connections will serve you well, as long as you learn to look the other way from time to time.
You lost some...
1725. Your schooling is done now. Your time here is over. You spent much of this year deciding what to do next.
Very charismatic and intelligent person. Join the military, courtly intrigue, or education. I mean, right now, we're not terrible in the physical, but really good in intellect, and I would like to have more constitution, but just generally I like to have more constitution. Oh. Let's go with intrigue, I think.
One of your professors said she saw something in you. A spark that would see you well in the world of courtly intrigue. This sounds exciting to you, and well paid too, so they put you in touch with a contact of theirs to begin your training. With your path decided, you found you had time before your training began, so you made the trip home to visit your parents and tell them of your plans.
I'm feeling Mom's not going to be in great
Your
shape.
travel home feels faster than it was leaving. Perhaps mindset, perhaps age, perhaps because you have done it once already and can spy milestones. Whatever the reason, you arrive home to your mother and Hoffman awaiting you. Your father is not there, but joins you for dinner that evening.
This bit here, perhaps mindset, perhaps age, perhaps because you've done it once already and can spy milestones. That's an interesting... I like that.
It had been 4 years since you were home. Not a long time for some, but a quarter of your life.
So we're 16.
You had this idea that you had matured, changed so much in that time, but...
Your attempts to gain access to the library's restricted area are rejected. The master there refuses you. These books are not for children. You try to wow your old friends with tales of your time away, and it pains you that they don't seem impressed. You still find your father to be as inscrutable as ever. Let's go with the third one. More parent drama.
You still find your father to be as inscrutable as ever.
Oh no.
You try to engage the man. Talk about his interests, your time away, and your chosen path. But you cannot tell if he is impressed, interested, or even paying attention.
That's going to be bad for my career.
Despite this, it is good to be home again. To see your friends and family. You have a good summer. As you leave for your new training, you wonder how long until you come home next, and how you will have changed by then. 1727. You are nearly 2 years into your training now, and it goes largely as expected. You miss home, but the pangs grow less as time passes. Your mentor, an older lady named Valentina Zupan, takes you to the Scottish courts to watch the burning of a witch. The woman is accused of fornication with the devil, but Valentina says that the only crime this woman, and women burned like her, committed was striving for knowledge, studying the natural world and trying to understand it. Valentina wants you to see how other countries treat people who they cannot understand, how they treat knowledge they cannot fathom.
This would be a better lesson if actual dark magic did not exist in the world and seems to come from unsavory sources. I'm not usually one who thinks that, like, the aesthetic or the form of a magic instantly makes it evil. Like, I am not one that likes the idea of always chaotic evil, that trope, with, like, even undead. If it can think, it can choose. But one of the things I do say is, if your power has a morality, it's not your power. It's somebody else's lending it to you. And do you really trust that person? And the book they talked about, getting it from the old entity that laughed at them as they left, does not sound like it was giving them power. It was giving them a way to call on it for power. And that does not sound good.
She tells you then that a war has broken out at home. A lich, a powerful undead sorcerer, has begun raising the dead and marches on the capital. So far its armies show no sign of moving out of Ralston, but Venetian and Habsburg forces are amassing on their respective borders to repel anything that tries to cross them. Other nations will turn this on us. They will try to turn the Pope on us too, no doubt. They'd see us burned like that witch. This is our job, to slow the tide that comes for us. We shall travel to other courts, seeking help. We will get none. In reality, we're there to find the lips that whisper against us, and do what we must to shut them. By deals or blackmail. Whatever it takes.
We be spies.
You were on a carriage to London that night, on the start of a tour of Europe that would carry on for the next year. Eventually, word reaches you that the Lich has been defeated, that its forces collapsed as the final blow was struck. Your father was at that battle, as was your uncle. You learn your uncle was wounded, but is well. Neither man died, though the same cannot be said for thousands of others in the country. The soldier's work is done now. Our work only gets harder. Venice will want to march in retaliation for 1708. Habsburg will want the land. Several others will want us stomped out for being too liberal. We must keep these wolves at bay while our country rebuilds. 1729. Your training complete. You land your first post.
Ottoman corpse of Ahmed III in Albania, you were thrown to the wolves and sent to the courts of Venice. Found yourself stationed in the rapidly crumbling courts of Charles VI, Holy Roman Emperor. So that'd be Habsburg. So, the Ottomans... Oh, I want to go to the wolves. Let's go straight to the enemy.
You were thrown to the wolves and sent to the courts of Venice.
We look very bored.
You never found out why you were sent here, and it has never become clear if this was a punishment or a prestigious assignment. You never see the Doge Alvise III Sebastiano Mocenigo. You never see anyone of note. You spend your days with minor nobles and nameless ambassadors clawing over any attention at all. Nobody asks your opinion or listens when you speak. How does this posting make you feel?
Actually, that is an important one. I'm bored but honored. Yeah, no, this feels like being someone who's overlooked, and they're going to look at you like a spy, because obviously, but being someone who's overlooked has its own power.
I suppose somebody has to be put here. It's not an exciting post,
goodness,
but given our history and the war, it is an important one. I am bored, but honoured. 1731. You are through the early years of your career now. You have earned some recognition and accolades. Some time from work and a purse are made available to you. As you take some time to enjoy this leave, a terrible thing happens to you.
Okay, let's see what the terrible thing is. Ooh, your arm is broken while climbing the Alps. A hunting trip results in a terrible stomach wound. A night on the town ends with your leg being severely damaged. This is going to affect one of our physical abilities. I like having a limp, to be honest. Arm is broken. Let's do this.
A night on the town ends with your leg being severely damaged. You met with your friends, Elsa, Laszlo, and Astrid. The four of you went to the local tavern. It is a busy night, with music playing on the stage and entertainers going from table to table. A fire roared, a pig was roasted, devilment was in the air. Many drinks in, you met a couple, Hetta and Jobst. They joined your group. You shared stories over beers. They were going to a party and invited you along.
That sounds dangerous.
You decided
drunk.
to go, even though your friends were calling it a night.
Yeah. That is also a red flag.
You, Hetta, and Jobst wandered the streets drunkenly laughing, sharing a bottle of pumpkin seed liqueur you'd bought at the tavern.
Yep.
They brought you through an alleyway, a shortcut. They stopped and took out a bag of powder. Hetta took a pinch and motioned to offer you some. As you grew near, she blew it in your face. Everything quickly became blurry, and then nothing. When you came to, you could not place where you were. Your head throbbed with a great pressure. You realized you were upside down, tied that way. You hung by your right ankle. Your left leg was tied behind your right one. Your knee bent at a 90-degree angle so your legs were perpendicular. Your arms were stretched out to your sides and folded back in at the elbow, then tied behind your back. You were tightly bound, unable to move. You could see out a window. You were high up. Inside the clock tower, you thought. There was movement around you. First, you heard Jobst speaking. No, not speaking. Chanting. A language you didn't know. You saw a figure walk before you. It wore a robe. You realized it was Hetta when you saw the hair coming from her hood.
Oh, joy.
She saw you were awake. Jobst, the chanting stopped. Another robed figure walked out before you. I am sorry, Jobst said. that this is happening to you. You seem nice. We had hoped to find a sacrifice we'd feel less guilty about. I guess it's not really a sacrifice if it's something you wanted rid of." He smiled. There was a kindness there that didn't sit well in the situation. "The sun is coming up," Heta said. Jobst stood. Without saying anything else, they left. You wondered how long it would be until you would be found and let down. Then you smelled the smoke. A fire. They were burning the tower. A panic washed over you. How long until the flames spread and you burned? The smoke filled the room. You coughed. A bell sounded. Soon, the smoke began to die out. Somebody passing in the early hours had seen the fire and sounded the alarm. They were able to extinguish the flames before the fire could properly take hold. Soon you were found and cut down. You still bear a scar on your ankle. Heta and Jobst were never found.
That looks like the hanged man position.
1733. When you learned of your father's death, you were...
On a date?
On a date.
Oh my.
The main course had just been served when a courier came to you and delivered the letter. It had your family seal on it. You knew it was important. You excused yourself for a moment. You never returned to dinner. You did not go on a second date.
I note they do not establish the identity or even gender of the date. Interesting.
Something changed in you then, and not for the better.
Rage, sorrow, numb. Very good at impress, but not good at the other, and acuity, but the other ones are kind of lacking. Sorrow.
I was overcome with sorrow. Any chance I had at repairing that relationship had just been pulled from me. A future robbed. Now, days later, your carriage crests the hills towards Marnes, the sun blasting off the red and yellow bricks and rippling off the blue sea beyond. You are almost home.
Support my mother.
Home to see my mother, to support her in this terrible time.
I wish my analyze was back to 1 to 2, but oh well. Okay, skill points remaining 0. Career diplomat Mandel von Elstrick. Female. So we could adjust this somewhat. I'm gonna put into convince some there. I'm gonna drop this by 1 and put it to here. Still pretty good. I want to put this into Constitution. She has survived a lot. Okay. One hour from the north gate of Marnes, my coach had been climbing a steep hill surrounded by on all sides by oaks before the great forest gave way to farmland. There we saw a young woman accosted by 2 brigands. My coachman
Should
called,
we stop, madam?
"Yes, at once." Coach pulled to the stop. "Is everything okay here, my good lady?"
Yes. Apart from this pair of fools annoying me.
She waved her hand at them quite casually. The men hefted their weapons and one of them turned.
Stay out of this. It is none of your business.
I tempted to bargain with them. Analyze level 2. Spend 0, pay them off 4 crowns. Fail to okay, so you're making a skill check is level 2. This means you need 2 levels of analyze to pass it. If your skill is less than 2, you can spend points from your skill pool to make up the balance. The skill pool refills at the start of each chapter. So, 4 crowns. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. Here, some coin for your trouble. Sneered as they reached for the money, I prepared to resume my journey.
Thank you for helping me. I know you. You are the daughter of Zelig.
Smiled sweetly and straightened the garland in her hair. Odd, she seemed about my age, but I did not recall her face from the past. Were you not afraid? Your life seemed in danger.
It was not. Those men are fools.
Coachman scowled at her. Who are you?
Just a girl from the village yonder.
You're a witch, aren't you? Are you a good witch or a bad witch? She looked slyly at me and waved her arm vaguely to the north, back down the hill the way we had come.
I was collecting herbs when they waylaid me.
Coachman eyed her suspiciously but said nothing. Ah. Show all options? I'm not going to click that. Surely Mars has not become so lawless.
The protection of the city is not there for all of us, and outside its walls, there are many men such as these.
This much of a words are true. In recent times, I never travel beyond the city without a weapon.
Okay, okay, we're going to do this. Would you care to... Perhaps you would care to visit me at my mansion when I'm settled in. Then perhaps I might learn your name, sweet maiden. Use her a moment before
Perhaps
answering.
indeed.
Okay. You seem the slight feisty sort.
I think our paths shall cross right enough. Perhaps as allies. Though as friends, we shall see.
Okay, so it won't let us do that again. Well, actually, let's do that. Let's do that. And then do this. So that's the last thing we
Perhaps
said.
indeed.
And then be safe then. I must be away.
I am sorry. It is a sad day. And Lord Zelig was a good man.
Sure he was. Glanced out to wave. Climbed back into my coach and glanced out to wave farewell, but in the place of the young woman stood an old hag, watching me. Shadows seemed to draw in around her, leaving her face.
Be wary. Vizierek dead the wolves are circling.
Oh.
The House of Van Eerstrik may have an important part in the future of the kingdom. Do not presume to know who your friends and enemies are.
Oh, I know of some stories about people like this. This is a hand-drawn feel to it.
Whoa there.
Carriage came to a sudden stop, which jolted me awake. I had thought that my return home after so many years that I would watch it all, rising up over the hill to see Marnes, entering the gates, the ride to my family home, but I had been traveling for 3 days now. I had clearly been too tired to stay awake, despite my strange encounter in the northern forest. Still, I was home. Perhaps it was unkind of me, but when I stepped out, I was surprised to be greeted by Hoffman. I expected him to be long retired by now. Despite his age, he stood tall as he greeted me.
Welcome home, my lady. I trust your journey was a pleasant one.
To do note added in journal. As best as one could expect given the circumstances. The old man said nothing. There was no expression on his face. He just nodded slightly, as indecipherable as I recalled. Nothing about this exchange gave away how close he had been to my father, raising him after my grandfather's death, tutoring him, following him to war, even minding my mother in recent years. He was hurting from the death, and I knew he was. If he was hurting from the death, and I knew he was, he hid it well. I must have been staring for too long, because he cut the silence.
If madam wishes to go inside, I shall follow along with the luggage.
Nodded and left him be. Graphic settings let you turn off the painterly effect. I don't know what the painterly effect is. My house. It said something about a journal. For anything else, I need to talk to Albrecht and my mother and learn what I can do about my father's death. By hovering over the last entry and using plus. Interesting. There was a curious woman who seemed was rife with magic, with a K, and offered me warnings. Okay, there we go. I like that feature. That's a neat feature. That's Albrecht.
Please, go inside and I'll follow along with the bags once I pay the driver.
Okay, cool. Interesting. My house was just as I remembered. Less cavernous perhaps, but still an impressive room. The grand staircase leading up to bedrooms and private offices. There was no sign of any of our servants, however. There beside the fire, my mother slumbered. Partial suit of armor. Scroll in, scroll out. Where was the rest of this armor? I needed to ask Albrecht. Why were these paintings off the wall? Albrecht would know. Oh my goodness. My possessions, such as they were, some changes of clothes, some books, nothing of real value. Created my father's most precious wines. Why was this sitting in the entrance hall? Because they're planning to sell. Let's talk to Mom. Looked to be waking from a rest. As they approached, she raised her hand to block the light as she
Albrecht, is it time for dinner? I think I dozed off.
Wow, you do have a decline. Early onset Alzheimer's? Mother, it's me, Mendel. Recognition washed over her face then.
Oh, my baby has returned. Your father will be so glad to see you.
Then she trailed off.
Your father. Oh.
Yeah, this is a little bit hard for me, because this is going on with my own mother. Decided it was best to leave her to rest. Let's talk to Albrecht again. When I next saw Albrecht, he was standing in the lobby.
Can I help you, my lady?
Your letter didn't mention how my father died. Sharp look from him then. He must not have wanted the question, but surely he expected it. Forgive me, my lady, but I must confess I'm embarrassed to tell you he was found dead in a bush, the smell of alcohol strong off him. Herbalist Aelin performed the autopsy and said it was a failure of the heart brought on by an overindulgence in liquor. Did this city have no doctors? I should find and question this man soon. Meanwhile, I needed to search the house for more evidence of my father's drinking habits. Why the herbalist? Why not a surgeon? Afraid I do not know why. He's learned a man, I suppose. In a bush? Yes, some broken bottles were found scattered around him with the funeral. I have not had time to tidy the area. Should you wish to look, it's around the back of the house. Okay, who found him? The groundskeeper found him as he began his morning chores. Anticipating my next question, Albert cut me off. Nikos is not here. He no longer works for the family. Why not? Perhaps the discussion best left for now. But in brief, with your father's passing, the family's financial affairs are unstable. Yeah, they're getting ready to tell me more of this financial issue. I cannot say much about it as I'm still not clear on it all myself. Your father, it seems, had managed to run down his finances. While alive, he was keeping things going, though just enough to mask it from me. When things settle more, and with your permission, I will begin to go through the finances in his office to make sense of the situation. Absolutely not in agreement, as I consider what my father had done. Perhaps I should look through these documents in my father's office as well. She seems worse than normal? The old man inhaled deeply and sighed. Yes, she's been declining rapidly since your father passed. Not sleeping, confusion, losing sense of where she is. I'm hoping your return will anchor her some. I'm sure that in a few days, when the pain lessens, she will sleep better, properly, normally. Until then, she wanders a little lost, and I help her get her sleep when she can. Yes, I'm sure she will be fine in time, Miss Mendel. I'm sure of it. Has a doctor seen her? No, but there is nothing a doctor can do for her or lock her away in the madhouse. I won't allow that, Mandel. Sorry, Miss Mandel. Why is there half a suit of armor on display? Ah, we are in the midst of selling some pieces. In brief, your father's passing has left the... That's what I thought. Conversation once you are settled in, I think. Okay. Have not seen the rest of the staff. Ah, yes, we have... They have been temporarily let go, I'm afraid. Brief... Yeah, okay, cool. What news of the funeral plans? It has already happened, my lady. He was cremated and entombed yesterday. We did not receive word of your arrival, so your uncle hastened the event. As your mother's health has been understandably poor since his passing, I'd hoped to allow you more time to rest after your trip before telling you. Uncle hastened the event. I'm sensing a Hamlet. I was shocked at this, and I'm sure that Albrecht noticed an uncharacteristic softness came over him then. It was a suitable affair, I assure you. This is going to be about the financial stuff. Those are... Yeah. Oh, this is for options that we've already passed. Let's... Why was the funeral so soon after his death? Surely they could have waited another day for me to arrive. There was no word that you would arrive. Your uncle was worried the Shroud would try to take the body. The Shroud? I thought that all worshippers of the Lich would have been taken care of by now. But clearly that was not... That's why they're cremating. Given your father's part in the war, his corpse would have made for a valuable trophy. Surprised that members haven't been chased down. I thought that was lost with the Lich. Why would anyone living pledge themselves to an undead sorcerer? It's hard to say. For some, this life isn't enough, I suppose. They want more time. Or maybe they just want to see others suffer, but I speculate. Surprised the members haven't been chased down by now. Your uncle has tried, but they are hard to find. They do not advertise themselves, you understand. Then what makes him so sure there are any left? There were many mortals who fought on the Lich's side in the war. Not all were found. Your uncle believes that those who survived are out there waiting. Do they have the ability to raise the dead? It is hoped so. The presumption is that they are waiting, hoping for a new Death Lord to arise. Taking the body would be more a gesture of resistance. Nothing else to ask about. About the funeral, his weight shifted. It is as you would expect. A grand event with a soldier's guard. Your uncle spoke, then the cremation. Once the ashes were gathered, they were marched through town. The crypts were cleared and his remains were placed in the family vault. I wonder if Hete and Jobst were worshippers of the Lich. Oh, this might be why she was targeted. If the ghoul chased out are any indication, his ghost would have a suitable fight should God see fit to charge him so. A hint of pride showed across his face, then the most honorable burial possible. Your uncle has commissioned a statue for the town center. So when they put him in the vault, several ghouls, we don't know precisely what that means. Might be ghost, might be something like the physical, were chased out of the crypt. Interesting. Town's Nasatya Mazian has been hired for the task at no small cost. Name meant nothing to me, but Albrecht seemed to feel her work was befitting my father's memory. Let's try this. Has the priest seen her? Has been a marvel coming here for private community. He prays for her soul often in this difficult time. One more. Perhaps the herbalist could take a look. He seems to be the center of medical excellence in the area. Trust me, madam, there is no concoction he can brew to aid her. I don't know why he performed your father's autopsy, but I would not let him near your mother. That seems to be everything. Drove all this way, and they had already had the funeral. Okay, so we're going to look at the journal. I should check. I have never seen whiskey in the house. I need to search for clues. Where my father's body was discovered. I should search my father's office specifically for information on the family finances. Okay, let's look at the dining table. Many important meals at this table, but I was never invited to those. Sat at the piano and played. Alone as I had played so many times as a child. After time, I ceased. That was pretty. What's over here? Robinson Crusoe. Is this every... No, it's not everything, but that's neat. Love in Excess. Oh my. Recognize none of the people whose portraits hung on this wall, nor the names on the plaques. Gulliver's Travels. You can double tuck or use WAS with ship to run. Okay, so... Interesting. Let's try going upstairs and seeing what's up here. Where is my father's study? Wasn't in his office, he'd often be here. I used to wait for him to leave so I could look at whatever he had just been reading. Safe procurement of Devil's Wood, conquest of liches, cage creature of Gavaza, the ancient cultures of the Adriatic. Conquest of liches. While leeches are by no means a new concept, until recently they could be easily dismissed as fanciful speculation or archaic myth. The recent war in Ralston, however, has forced us to jettison these false comforts. For the first time in contemporary history, a lich operated in the open and became impossible to disregard their existence. The Church has historically been reticent to encourage studies in this field, fearing that such pursuits might only bolster the heretical arts in question. But is this author's assertion that if we wish to challenge such threats in the future, we must endeavor to understand their nature? Many reports describe leeches as non-living entities with the ability to create thralls out of the dead. However, unlike undead creatures in folklore, the lich seems to retain full sentience. It does not act instinctively, but if the accounts from Ralston are to be believed, it instead operates with intention, intelligence, and even malice. This allows a lich to field armies and engage in broad military campaigns. Alarmingly, a lich cannot be killed by conventional means and requires some form of extra-natural intervention. The threat posed by such a creature is apparent and immense. For this reason, we must secure sensible countermeasures should another such being arise in the near future. The Van Elstricks, for all their heroism, have been disinclined to share the specifics of their triumph over the Lich in Ralston. We must therefore turn to historical accounts of what limited contemporary sources exist. Unfortunately, few, if any, of these scattered sources provide insight into the vulnerabilities of the Lich. Go back. We must... No. We must then consider the less refined folk histories of the rural pleasant population. Various tales allude to creatures with characteristics similar to the Lich. Both the Russian Koshche myths and the Bas-Shalak stories of the southern Balkans involve entities that cannot be killed by bullet or blade, though the exact nature of their defeat remains variable. Could these tales have been inspired by liches? Is there something to be gleaned in them about the nature and vulnerability of these seemingly deathless beings? It would behoove us to study these tales and pry out some commonalities that could inform our future defense. Folktales are, by their nature, malleable in concrete things, but if we apply a scientific approach to their study, it is this author's belief that we will find many details that persist across iterations. The source of our salvation might very well live within these particulars. So there we go, a very bad Eastern European accent for a fictional Eastern European nation. Also, Koshche the Deathless, I believe, is one of the examples of the myth of the Lich. He does the whole phylactery thing, and it is a particular entity, not a type. It isn't a kind of being. It's like Medusa. It's not like Medusa is a gorgon. Let's see what this is. Even now I felt like the violation be here. mess of disjointed sentences and lists, as if she was trying to remind herself of even the most basic of tasks. Okay. That's not the... Oh, that's your mom. Let's not wake her. Father's study, where he spent most of his time, but I don't think this is his office. Huh. Paintings. Yep. Is this the office? My old room. It was strange being back. I felt it the same every time I returned home. Though it had been really my home, hadn't really been my home since I was sent away 14 years prior. Just a place I came to see my family. Now, just a place to visit my mother. So where is your office, Dad? Right mouse button to control to see additional interaction icons. Oof. Interesting. There's a drawer. We're coming to the end of the hour. We haven't hit... Oh. Leather trousers. This is what we have. Formal coat, belt, and a knife. Take all of this? Cool. Character. Inventory. I wore leather trousers. I wore formal. You will see blue arcs in front of it. If you move it, indicate... Okay. Why am I... Okay. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I'm now dressed. Okay. In, like, a nice kind of coat. Let's see if the office is down here. Might be up here. By using the journal icon in your taskbar, this icon flashes when there is unread content. Okay. This is where my father kept mementos of his adventuring days. This was another room I had been forbidden to enter as a child. Okay, so that is a bed over there. What's upstairs? Albert's room was always locked. Understandable as it was the only place of refuge. Okay, that's Hoffman's room. Albrecht's room. Oh, wait. Go back. There's a trapdoor there. This is an interesting game here. I don't see a way to get to that place. Although that's my bedroom. I've already been there. Okay. Anyway, we're at about a minute away from the hour. That's the storeroom. Where's your office? Drawing room. I'm now using the WASD to move around. Oh, it's a toggle. Okay. Our home library. Cousin Lucas stayed when he was with us. I wonder when this room last saw use. So Lucas is a thing no matter what. You just get to choose who in your past is parents' bedroom. Door. I made my way to hall to see what it is.
You're back? this is delightful news.
Oh, now
It must have been 5 years since we last met. Why, we were only a pair of girls back then.
Gritting face fell
I
seriously.
heard of your father's passing. Terrible thing, but it won't overshadow my joy at seeing you.
Tell me what you have been up to since I was away.
Oh, this and that. I never really settled on anything, being honest.
You were going to be an artist the last time we met.
Yes, I was.
She shrugged and then
I
sighed
didn't
to
manage to sell many, I'm afraid. I'm not cut out for it, it seems.
Oh no, that's not going to be the case. Oh, tell me what
Oh, this and that. I never really settled on
What about
anything,
acting?
being honest.
Corona waved her hands in the air.
All the world's a stage, and the men and women merely players. Well, yes, I fear my stage career started and ended in my school days. The pinnacle was when I understudied as Hermia in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that ran in the northern provinces 2 summers ago. We even performed for Queen Olka. Well, at least my troupe did. I didn't tread the stage in many performances, I'm afraid. I probably spend too much time in garnets these days.
Okay, that's all we can have. I'll just tag along with you a bit and help you sort things out before you head into the city. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and save. Save new. Unboxing, because I might, if I play more of this, and I think I might. This makes 3 games I want to see more of. Found in an unboxing. If I play more of this, the game does say it is a run of this is 25 to 50 hours. So this is a lot of game to start on. Maybe replacing Baldur's Gate if I can figure out how to get that to the end game. I keep running into just more side quests. Anyway, this is a very interesting game, very interesting premise. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.